This meeting is being recorded.
Wow, they said that for me. Hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday, July 26th of 2022. We are convening a tax review board session. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the executive director of the tax review board, and with me today is Nancy Carmody, the chair, Paula Weiss, Ryan Boyer, and George Matthews, who are all board members. Please be aware that this is a public meeting and it is being recorded because the meeting is public. Participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. By continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This meeting will be posted to our YouTube page. At this time, I would like to give control of the board to Nancy Carmody, our chair. Nancy?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the hearing for July 26, 2022. As has already been indicated, the first item I'm going to address is, excuse me, is number 6. It was an add-on to our agenda, but has also been continued. That's case 1183. And I'm just realizing I don't have a full name here. It's 75 Benia, and this matter has been continued. Next on the agenda is item number 2, Dilshad Harley. Last 4 digits of the docket 0732. The property address is 2545 North Bouvier Street. I believe Melissa was getting the petitioner into the room, so we'll need to pause for a moment until they're available.
I'm here.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Please identify yourself for the record.
Yes, good morning. My name is Dilshad Harley, the owner.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. And I'll just ask that when it comes time for you to actually be participating, that you sit as close to the computer and the mic as you are comfortable doing, so that we can definitely hear you and be able to interact with you. Who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Julia Park for the City of Philadelphia Law Department.
Okay, do you have anyone with you who needs to be sworn?
Yes, Miss Chenille Smith.
Please, excuse me, please identify yourself for the record.
I'm Chenille Smith and I'm representing the Water Revenue Bureau.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I'm going to ask that you stay as close to your mic as you can when you're actually participating. That would be appreciated. Are you going to be giving us the numbers for the record?
Yes.
This is item 2.
Or is it Julia?
No, it should be you.
Okay. All right. The water customer is, the dispute period is December 15, 2017 through October 14, 2019. The disputed amount is $17,560.45. The principal amount is, give me 1 second, sorry. Give me 1 second, I have to bring it up. Principal amount is the disputed amount, which is $17,560.45. No principal, no lien.
No penalty, no lien, ma'am?
I'm sorry, no penalty, no lien, yes.
All right, and then can you just say the second part of the disputed amount one more time?
$17,560.45.
And the period?
December 15, 2017 through October 14, 2019.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any opening comments from the city?
Yes.
Park?
Yes, this dispute is concerning high bills from it looks like the bulk of the high bills are from December 2017 to June 2018, due to what appears to be a serious leak at this property. This leak predates petitioner's ownership of the property. He purchased this property in August 2019. A title report should have shown the balance of the high bill at closing or settlement. We request that this petition to be denied.
So you're saying that the high bills predate the ownership, but well, we can ask the petitioner about it. But you're saying that that should have been addressed before the ownership? I'm not sure what your point was there when you made those comments.
Oh, yes. So in a property sale, a title report should show the balance that's owed to the city. I'm sure the petitioner was aware of this high balance, and at that point, either the seller or the buyer should have checked the meter or, hired a plumber. Nothing has been done at this property.
Okay, I guess we need to then turn to the petitioner and find out from his perspective what the situation is and whether or not anything was addressed that you aren't aware of from the notations on the record. So let's turn to the petitioner. Tell us why you're here, what you're looking for from the board, and particularly what your views are on the outstanding balances that appear to have been on the record at the time you acquired the property.
Yes, if the court may please, that when I purchased the property, the owner of the property didn't live here in Philadelphia. She inherited the house. I know the neighborhood. I know the neighbors. I'm involved in that area. I don't know if you can see what I do, but I help out there. They know me. They call upon me if they need some help with anything. So I told the owner, instead of letting the property go and just fall apart, which it was in bad shape at the time, that I would try to see if I can try to take care of what was left on this property in any ways, means, or how, which since then I do have a family in the house. Again, I spoke with Miss Kim last year and said about appeals, and I was wondering how would that work, and if I can show utilities that the house was didn't have any utilities on at that time, which not being the owner was difficult. I got some assistance from city council to help me obtain records from the electric and the gas department, showing that the house did not have any utilities on during that period of the water or the pipes being burst in the house.
So I want to interrupt you for a moment.
Sure.
Do you own the property now?
Yes, I do.
When did you take possession of the property?
That would have been in 2019.
2018?
19, I believe.
19.
Yes, ma'am.
So in all the time before that, you were working from, I will call it afar. You were not actually an owner of the property, but you were working on behalf of the property based on your explanation.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you aware during that time period that there were these high outstanding bills?
Well, not initially when I spoke with the owner. Again, she lived out of town. She was, from understanding, unaware of it. So once, we looked more into it and I was looking to purchase the property from her, it was brought that it was there. She had an attorney at the time that was going to try to handle it, but again, she was out of the city. So I said, well, again, instead of letting the property just fall apart, then allow me to take it and see what, if anything, I can do,
So this is Ryan Boyer. You took the property knowing that it may be subject to tax liens, water liens, and other liens because you didn't. You have an LLC here. Is this your Harley Properties LLC?
Yes, sir.
So you're aware of a title search, right?
Yes, I am. And again, like I said, I didn't
no,
want.
I'm asking you a question.
Sure.
Did you do a title search on the property?
A title search was done on the property, yes.
So you know about this lien?
I knew about it, yes. Yes, I did. Later down the line, I did know about it. But again, like I said, I was trying to rehab the place for, like, again, the neighborhood. The people know me there. You know, I'm involved in the community, so I didn't know that would help. And again, I said I have copies of information that the property at the time was vacant during the high water or the pipe burst in the house. And I was hoping that that in turn would help some with the water bill as far as the amount.
You said the pipes actually had burst?
Yes, ma'am. I have, like, again, there's a pipe upstairs as we opened the walls that broke. The house was vacant. And at the time, the utilities were not on in that property. The gas or the electric was not on for that year's time or that period of time.
Sir, can I have those bills? I'm gonna make a copy.
Okay, and this is Paula Weiss. I have a follow-up question. When you did end up transferring the property to your name, what was the purchase price?
The purchase price was, basically I paid all the transfer taxes. Anything occurred to transfer the property. And I ensured that the owner at the time that I would, fix the property and put a family into the property.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I have a question. The
Yes, sir.
2500 block of Bevere, that's near
Huntington.
Glenwood. That's near Glenwood, right?
Huntington.
I know Bevere coming between 18 and 19, but I'm
It's
trying
between Huntington and Cumberland.
Huntington coming. Okay, near Temple University.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, it's not that close
Okay.
to Temple, no. I mean, it's a little block. It's a lot of activity on Cumberland, constant issues there. And there's some activity up on Huntington that is not positive in any way. Again, whatever I can do, the neighbors have my number, and I do try to be involved in the neighborhood.
What is it you're looking for from this board?
I'm looking for whatever, that can help, that I can, make some payments, or if the board would take some consideration on, something lesser than what's there, I would appreciate it, any consideration. Like I said, again, I put a family, a mother with 3 children in there. I'm just trying to, set up for.
Normally, people are looking for relief on interest and penalty, but there's no interest and penalty outstanding here based on what you indicated at the outset, or what the city indicated at the outset. And so I'm not sure what it is you think we can or should be able to address here.
Well, when I asked Ms. Kim last year on what grounds can you appeal, to go to the hearing, if she said if you could show that the property was vacant at the time, that the water bill occurred. And through those dates that's mentioned for the high water bill, there was no usage, no utilities was on, no gas, no electric. It was vacant. No one was aware that the pipes were broken in the house. And that was the only reason I tried to see what, if anything, can be done with the bill itself.
Okay,
Can we step aside, Nancy?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if there were any more questions before we would step aside to discuss.
Hold
I
on.
think we just need to go back to Julia,
We
to
have
the
to let the
city,
city
to see if
present.
she has to put any
Oh,
more.
I'm sorry.
She made her opening statement, but didn't put on any evidence.
Oh,
and
yeah.
doesn't need to, I'm not sure.
Excuse us for trying to move on without you, Julia.
Oh, no problem. I just have a follow-up question for Mr. Harley. Are you renting this property at the moment
Yes, I
with the
am.
family? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Chenille, did you have a chance to review the petitioner's water account?
Yes.
And who owns this property?
Harley, Dilshire Harley.
What property,
Harley
what type of,
property. I'm sorry, go ahead.
what were you saying? Oh, as the
Harley
answer.
property. Harley
Okay.
properties. Yes.
What type of property is this?
Residential rental property.
And was a discontinuance permit obtained by LNI?
No.
During the dispute periods, did technicians go out?
No.
Were there any billing adjustments?
No.
And all the readings were all the readings actual?
all except for 2 cycles, which were November 15, 2019.
Can you speak closer to the mic, please? I'm sorry.
All except for 2 cycles, November 15, 2019 and December 10, 2019. They were estimated usage.
Okay.
Can I interrupt 1 second, please? The water department had to come out and bring a water meter. The water meter was stolen from the property. So I don't know what point it was, but they broke in the property, they stole the water meter and some of the pipes out of it. So that wasn't there, so I had to get the water.
When did that happen?
Prior to me getting the property, the water meter was gone. It was stolen from the property with the copper piping from the house. So I had to get another water meter. It's on my bill, actually.
Ms. Smith, can you, when was the meter installed? A new meter or installed at this property?
It was installed December 10, 2019.
Is that part of the dispute period?
No, it's not.
Okay, it's outside. That's
Yes.
afterwards, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And as a property owner, are property owners responsible for any, for all usage, including leaks and burst pipes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That completes my questioning.
I have a follow-up question. Ms. Smith,
Yes.
when the meter was installed in December of 2019, is there a notation that it was exchanged for a current meter, or is there a note, or that there was no meter?
It was a missing earthing meter, so they did have to replace the meter and the earth.
And prior to that date, then, when was the last actual reading recorded on whatever meter was there?
October 13, 2019.
So there was an actual reading as late as October of 2019?
Yes.
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
Anything else from the city before the board steps aside?
Nothing further from me.
Okay, does the petitioner have anything else that hasn't already been raised that we should be aware of before we step aside to discuss?
No, you considering this matter would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if everyone just stay put, I'm gonna put the board into a breakout room and then we'll be back. Thank you. Nancy, everyone is back.
Everyone's back? Okay, fine, thank you. The board's considered everything we've heard, and it's our decision to deny the petition. You'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas after that you receive the letter, or within 30 days of receiving the letter.
Payment arrangements. within 30
Concurrence from the, I'm sorry.
Payment arrangements within 30 days.
Oh, I thought I said that, but I guess I kind of swallowed it and didn't get it out. You should, after the 30-day period, you need to contact the city in terms of making payment arrangements. Let's get the concurrence of the board members on this decision.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Ryan, you're on mute.
Ryan's on mute. Oh, thank you.
Ryan Boyer, I concur.
And Nancy Camerodiner, I concur. So you'll get a letter from us that spells out this decision and have time to act on it, but you need to enter into payment arrangements in order to follow through on things and bring the, excuse me, bring the property up to date. Otherwise, you need to go to court.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Have a good day.
This is Ms. Smith. I believe it's case number 5.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I wasn't sure if we were ready for her. Case number 5 is Shirley Smith, last 4 digits of the docket 0459. The property address is 5617 Chester Avenue. Are
Yes,
you okay?
yes, I'm all right, darling. I'm good. I just tripped a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm all right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Don't want you to have, excuse me, an injury or a fall here.
You said it.
Oh, thank you. I was just going to say that if you were comfortable, we would appreciate it if you'd take off your mask so that we can hear you better. And as you are preparing to talk, if you would be as close to the mic as you can, and the mic is there at the computer.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, please identify yourself for the record.
Shirley Smith.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Who has this matter for the city?
I do. The water customer is disputing the September 2019 debit adjustment of $2,448.77.
Okay. Do you have any other open comments, or should we be asking your associate to provide the numbers for the record?
No.
Or did you give everything?
Where are the numbers?
Those were the numbers.
Those were, I was gonna say that, were there any other numbers? I thought you'd given part of it, but I wasn't sure if you provided all of it. And those are your only opening comments here?
That's not the attorney. Julia is the attorney, Nancy.
I know, that's what.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, just quickly, there's nothing, only the current bill is owing on the accounts. I just want to know why the petitioner appeared today, because it seems like no action is needed.
yes. The reason that I'm appearing is because I was at another hearing and they denied the claim, but they didn't give me any reason. Just a letter that they've denied it. And my argument was that because they kept sending me a bill for a $30 or $32 or $32.77, and they did it over a period of time. And I noticed even when I was out of town for a week or so, the bill remained the same. So I contacted the water department and explained that why was my bill the same? So then when I knew anything, they gave me an adjustment of over $2,000. Or they said I owed $2,000 because I was paying too little money. But my argument was, if the computer always kicked out this amount of money and I paid that amount of money, then why after a period of time they came back and assessed me for even more? And they said that the computer did it, but my argument was, who's overseeing the computer for such a period of time? And nobody could answer that. And my argument was, if I paid on a house for 20 years and they said that, I completely paid for the house, and after 20 years, I still owed more money and they couldn't tell me why. So that's why I'm coming back to the city to say, please give me my adjustment. I paid the $2,000. It was, it was a hardship, but I paid it. But I still feel that the city owed me that adjustment. And that's basically my argument.
So let's go back to the city and get a little clarification.
Okay.
If you don't mind. This is Paula Weiss. I'm a board member. So Ms. Smith, you announced that $2,448 had been a debit adjustment to this
Yeah.
account. Could you
Yeah,
explain?
I paid the amount.
Okay,
Yeah.
everyone just-
We're trying to get testimony from the city right now.
We have two Ms. Smiths, so it might be a little confusing. I'm getting the city revenue department representative. Could you explain to us what you meant by a debit adjustment?
So Ms. Smith's account was assessed $2,448.77 due to zero usage, or period of zero usage.
And that was because of an ERT that was malfunctioning? Or why was there a period of zero usage?
I think it was a non-registering meter, so the ERT was malfunctioning. So the amount that Ms. Smith is speaking of, the 30 something dollars each month. So that was for stormwater and service that she was paying for each month, but no usage on that property.
What period of time was that?
Let me see. Okay, so from 2016, November 2016 through September 2019, it was all zero usage due to that non-registering meter. And then she had her ERT replaced September 2019. And afterwards, the readings became actual. And that's when she got a normal bill, including usage. So that's when the debit adjustment happened for $2,448. But that was actually adjusted again. It was lower to $1,665 later on by accounting. And that was paid off by Ms. Smith.
So from the city standpoint, all of those periods of time that had not been measured have been taken care of and have actually been paid.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what usage amount did you bill to get that $1,665?
Yes, it was for 325 CCFs for that 26, from that period from 2016 to 2019.
Per month.
But I'm seeing
325 total CCFs.
Oh.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
it was maybe like $34 each month for usage that she was billed with that debit adjustment.
excuse me, I'm seeing, do you guys see anywhere where it's $2,448?
We could share our screen and we could show Ms. Smith the account transactions.
Please do.
But I paid.
So Ms. Smith can visually see what happened
Okay.
to her account. I
And
think
that
that'd be
would help the
better.
board members as well.
Great. Mhm.
I thought I'm seeing this printout. I don't remember.
Watch there, she's going to put this up on the screen. So look at the computer screen to see the information that she's going to be highlighting for us.
Okay, so Ms. Smith, can you go back to when she was originally billed in 2019 for that 2,400? Yeah, so right here.
Yeah.
So that was after the ERT was replaced, Ms. Smith, and you got billed September 20th, 2019 for $2,448. Do you see that? It's highlighted.
Yes, I see that. I thought-
Okay, and then if you scroll up, Chanel, okay, if you go up a little bit more. Okay, so that was reversed and then it was lowered to $1,665 by accounting.
I
So,
don't-
if you go up, Chanel, if you go up a little. And, Miss Smith, paid that amount, later down the road in 2021.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so her running balance became zero at that point, and she's been making consistent payments, and she has only her current bill that's due at the moment.
Just for clarification, since it was originally identified as $2,448, but then adjusted to the 1665, I just want to make sure that she only paid the 1665 and not both of those numbers.
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah, so if you scroll down, if you
Mhm.
scroll down, Chanel,
mhm.
so that $2,448, that original debit adjustment was reversed as
Okay.
that symbol
That's what I thought,
shows
but I
as a
just wanted to make
minus.
sure that
Yeah.
that was clear and identified both for the board's edification and also for Ms. Smith.
But I'm thinking, I don't have the receipt, but I thought it was I thought it was the $2,448. I could be mistaken, but that's what's sticking in my head. That I paid that money after my request was denied. So I didn't want to keep paying a lot of interest
Well,
that I couldn't afford. So I could be mistaken, but I thought that's what it was.
But you didn't pay it in one lump sum, correct? You paid it out over time?
No, it wasn't over a time. If I think
You made an actual payment of over $2,000?
It looks like she
It
paid
might have been- it
1,500
might have
in
been a couple of-
2021.
might have been 2 payments. I really can't remember.
City is showing a payment of $1,553 in November of 2021. Could that have been the amount?
It does not ring a bell.
Okay.
I thought it.
Well, we would need to see your
Payments,
receipt. I mean, the
large
city would
payments.
need to see your receipts in order to confirm if there was a
understand.
difference in their accounting.
I understand.
Ms. Park, were there penalties taken out of her payments at any point in time?
I don't believe there were penalties. If there were, I don't think it was taken out.
Okay. So none of the money that she paid was allocated towards penalty accrued?
Or interest.
Well, the debit adjustment, when she originally had that, if she wasn't, I believe there was a dispute on that, so no penalty was accruing since Ms. Smith filed a TRB petition. But if there were any other penalties, that was not taken out.
Thank you.
Mm. Right.
So this was all usage for the 4-year period that had not been billed?
Correct.
Where does the account stand now
And Ms.
from the
Park,
city's perspective?
Oh, the account is current.
Yeah, I've been paying it, but that's what I'm saying.
I just wanted to have that on the record, that
Uh-huh.
everything is current. I thought that was referenced earlier.
Mhm.
but
and
wanted to be-
also, Ms. Park, she self-reported when she noticed that the bill was consistent, correct?
Yes, I did. When I saw that it was the same, and even when I wasn't there, that's what made me, call and said, well, why is it the same? And I questioned the water department, and that's when they came out and whatever they did, I don't remember what. It's been so long, and I didn't, jot down what they did, so. But I think my complete argument was, who was minding the store when they was getting when that bill was coming? Because whatever the bill was, I would have been paying it. But they hit me all at one time with a huge bill. And when I came to the hearing, they said my request was denied, but I didn't understand why.
So-
Because
All right, Ms. Smith, if I can interrupt. So let's see if we can get just some explanation. It does appear that for a period of time, the meter was not registering or sending their information electronically to the city. I'm not clear which it was. And you were as you noted, you were paying the same amount every month because it was a flat the flat rates for water, for service and for stormwater. There was no usage being charged, even though you were using water. Once the city realized that that's what was going on,
No, I
they
realize.
back billed you for all the usage charges that you had not been billed for during that almost 3-year period of time. So that's really the explanation for that big bill.
But it said, excuse me, it said on my bill, actual reading. It kept saying the actual reading.
Oh, I don't doubt that the bill was not
Yeah, so
clear.
and that's what I'm paying, and they said, pay this amount, because it was actual reading.
But
And
the actual reading was 0.
yeah,
3 years, the actual, and that was obviously, even you saw.
yeah, I
that's
saw
not
it
correct.
after
But once the
time, yeah.
meter and or ERT were affected, then the city caught up on all of those actual readings that hadn't been recorded on the bill. Am I correct in saying that?
See, that's what I am not sure how they got that actual reading, because they came back and gave me a schedule. But my thing is, if you can find the actual reading now, why didn't you do it when you were building me?
Let me ask the city a question. Was the malfunction with the ERT that was sending the reading on to the city to address and bill? Or was the problem with the meter itself?
I think the problem was with the non-registering meter that wasn't capturing the usage.
But then how did you have the actual reading amount afterwards? I thought it was only the ERT that was a problem.
So Mr. Dabalski, he's our Philadelphia Water Department witness. He can explain maybe the mechanics of how a reading is captured after it was malfunctioning.
And he's there now?
Yes, he's
Please
doing
identify
this.
yourself for the record.
How you doing? Andrew Dybaski, Assistant Manager, Water Department Meter Division.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps then you can help to explain how a malfunctioning meter was providing information during that time, but it wasn't being recorded at the city's end.
Okay, it was not transmitting the readings electronically to the reader van monthly, but the analog register attached to the meter was picking up the readings each month. So it was calculating on the face of the dial of the ERT. It just wasn't transmitting what was on the face of the dial of the ERT to the reader van.
Thank you.
So
That
when they got in and actually replaced it, they took the physical reading off the register, off the analog dial, and applied that to the bill.
So this is an actual reading over the 3-year period that really did show what the real usage was.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
that's, so
So
Ms.
the dial on the meter was going forward, even though it wasn't being forwarded to the ERT for transmission.
So Ms. Smith, is that clear? The meter was working, the water department, Water Revenue Bureau, Water Department were not getting those readings electronically, but when someone actually looked at the meter, the reading was there. And so that seems that it was an actual usage and you did pay the bill. So Nancy, Ryan, George, I'm not sure what there is for us.
But my question is, if they could have determined then, why didn't they determine those years that it was 0? Who was mining that particular, that particular slot or that particular machinery? If he was, if he could get that reading.
Oh, but they weren't in the house, but they didn't come to the house. They didn't come to the house.
It was internal in the meter that it was moving forward, but it wasn't being transmitted to anyone, if I'm understanding correctly what.
And I guess we can acknowledge that, yes, it should not have taken the water department 3 years to figure it out, but it unfortunately it did.
But I am the one that called the water department.
I understand that. And yes, and you're right, they should have figured it out on their own. I will certainly, that would be fair to say. But certainly appears from the testimony that the meter was working And that was the actual usage.
But if they're telling me that now, you know, and I believe that they're sincere with that, but I don't have any, I don't know that that actual happened with that meter, because it was so long ago. And nobody explained it then, and they didn't say it's moving or not moving, and you're getting a bill that's zero.
But they hadn't been to the house to see it. They had to be there, look at the meter, and then figure out what the situation was. And they're telling us now in retrospect that what was happening was that the dial was moving on the meter, but it wasn't going forward to be transmitted to the city record keeping system.
Do we need to step back, Nancy?
But I'm still not understanding. Why did it take them that period of time?
They had to see your actual meter.
Because they were billing me.
We don't have an answer to that question. That's how long, we don't know.
That's what's
why it took them that long. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it did, and we don't have an answer to that. I'm
Why
sorry.
they didn't go to the house is the open question, but once they did and actually had physical contact with the meter, they started to get the information that they needed.
So do we need to step back, Nancy?
Yes, so that we can finalize.
If everyone can hold tight, please.
What were you speaking to me? I'm sorry.
I was just simply saying just to hold tight. The board is going into a virtual room to discuss this matter.
Okay, I see. I see. Excuse me.
Okay, Nancy.
Okay, everyone's back. The board's reviewed everything that we've heard, and it's our determination that there is no action needed, no additional amounts need to be paid, and that this matter from the board's perspective should be closed. Is there anything else we need to add from the board's perspective on this?
I concur, Nancy Poloway.
Ryan Boy, I concur.
And George?
I concur.
And Nancy Cameron concurs. So basically, we're going to be marking this, that there's no action needed, no further payments need to be made under the terms of this appeal.
I wasn't paying any extra. I just paid my bill.
And we're acknowledging that there's no back amount that was due and owing as a result of some of these earlier transactions. That's all been caught up, and there's no further action needed other than that we ask that you continue to be a loyal paying customer. and
I just want an adjustment. I just want my refund. That's all I want.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming.
Since I see that you're not going to give me a refund, it is.
I don't think there's one due and owing at this point. It seems that everything that should be paid has been paid. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You said it. I tell you, keep tripping over. It's something with that chair. Or is it my feet? I don't know which one.
See, is it number 3 that's next?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Hello,
Please identify yourself for the record.
My name is Bruce Hammond. I'm Isabella Hammond's son. She cannot come because she is sick.
Okay, do you have his power of attorney or anything else that would indicate that you're able to speak on his behalf?
Well, actually, my sister in South Carolina, that's who she lives with now, is her power of attorney. I'm just in charge of paying all her bills. I've been paying all her bills since September.
Okay, is there any question from the city on his ability to speak on behalf of his father?
My mother.
Yes, I mean, we would just need a power of attorney or a notarized letter from Isabella Hammond, the account holder, because we don't see you as an authorized person to speak on this account.
Even though I'm the one who's paying all her bills?
Legally, sir, the tax review board requires standing, and standing requires either the person who owns the property or a person who's been authorized by the person who owns the property. And so we need something formal and authorized. So we'll take a power of attorney, letters of administration, or just a simple notarized letter from the person giving you authorization to speak on behalf of the property.
Oh, so it had to be in, so she couldn't call and do it. She had to send a letter.
Yes, she would have to send a letter, it be notarized that she gives you permission to speak about the property, to represent her here today.
But couldn't she on either today or on another occasion be on the phone and represent herself and interact with us virtually? Or
I can try to call her now, but I don't know how much good she would be because my mother was diagnosed with dementia in September and she deteriorated rapidly to the point she couldn't live by herself. That's why my sister came up from South Carolina. She's been living with my sister since November.
Has she given power of attorney to one of you?
My sister has power of attorney.
So you actually just need a letter from your sister authorizing you to speak on behalf of the property. Because she has power of attorney.
Right, my sister.
either that or she could participate in a virtual
Yeah, or
hearing.
your sister can provide us the documentation regarding her being power of attorney, and she can speak on behalf of the property. But we do need some documentation noting that your mother has given authorization to you and or your sister to speak on behalf of the property. It is standing, it is required, and we cannot proceed with this hearing without it. I'm very sorry, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for coming in, and I guess we should be continuing this matter for
We will
further
give you
action.
90 days to get power of attorney. If you could send it ahead of time, that would make this a lot smoother because then I can send it to the city. You could just email it to our main email address, and then we can proceed with scheduling you.
Could you give me, so I can, my sister can, she can email you her power of attorney and saying that she gave permission for me to represent.
Yes, but that permission needs to also be signed and notarized. So
Okay,
if your sister is giving you power, then you need to get that notarized by your sister.
okay,
Or else your sister can attend a Zoom like we're doing now. So your sister can come on. and
oh, well, okay. She
All
can do
right.
this. Okay,
I can send you guys the link when this case gets rescheduled.
okay.
All right.
And you don't need to come back here, sir. You wouldn't need to come back. You could just sign on by Zoom with your sister.
I wish I knew that ahead.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do-
Sorry about that. We appreciate you coming in and trying to participate from here, but it's really required by law that we have to be dealing with someone who's been formally authorized to represent the property.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Thank you for coming in.
Okay, so what is the email address that she was sent it to?
Sure. Admin, ADMIN .review.
Wait a minute.
I'll
Okay,
come and write it for you, sir.
okay.
That's the best bet.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have we heard from number 4?
No, not at this time.
Do we need to concur with that continuance?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. That's concur on that it's really being continued for 90 days for identification of appropriate representation.
Paula Weiss, I.
George Mathis, I concur.
Okay, I'll step
Right.
out for 2 seconds to give this gentleman this document and then we can call the.
Okay, Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, did you concur?
Yeah, I concur, Ryan. Boyd.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. And Nancy Camerodiner, I concur. So we've taken care of that for the record. We're waiting right now for Melissa to come back, and we have apparently not heard from number 4, which we'll address later. But number 1 is going to be a telephone hearing unless they've been able to come on to Zoom.
I don't see that person here, so I'm just gonna give him a call. He is, I tell him I'm just about to call him.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. I don't have, I can't, for some reason, I can't transfer on this phone, so I'm gonna call him. Tell him to hang up and I'm gonna call him.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just for the record, this is case number 1, William Goldstein, last 4 digits of the docket 0605. Property address here is 3326 Hartel Avenue. And we're trying to get the party on the line.
Dial your personal identification number.
What is it?
Hello.
Hi, is this Mr. Goldstein?
Yes, speaking. Goldstein.
A Goldstein, I apologize. My name is Melissa. I'm calling you for your tax review board hearing today.
Yeah.
Can you, hold on, I'm just gonna ask my board if they can hear you from the phone. Can you guys hear him?
Like it a little bit louder if we can.
I actually can.
I can hear him.
Something, Mr. Goldstein?
I can hear, but it's borderline.
Say anything?
I didn't say anything yet. Hear you. Yeah, hello.
Is that better, guys?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you,
For me it is.
I'm gonna ask you to keep your voice nice and loud, okay?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. You were supposed to send me a Zoom and I didn't get it.
I thought I did send it to you. I apologize, sir.
No, I didn't get it. You want me to turn it on? I mean,
Oh, you want to try that?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can just resend it to you.
Okay, and if not, I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir, I sent it to you again.
All right, let me just check.
Okay. If
No,
everyone
I'm
can,
okay, nothing yet.
okay,
Have you got my address right?
yes,
WGOLBS4819 at AOL.com?
yes.
Nothing yet. No? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yes, it is. Here it is. Just came. Melissa Andre. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Oh, what do I got to do now? What link have I got to click on?
The link that says join here or the link, hold on, one more.
When? Where? Join Zoom meeting.
Yes, that link.
There's a whole, all right. Let's see if it works. Don't have Zoom launch meeting, okay? Stand by, Melissa, I may not get this. I don't think too much Zoom. Launch meeting. Hope the camera's working. Might have to do this by telephone, okay?
Okay,
Okay. Don't have Zoom client instead, download now. I have a client installed, having issues. Join from your browser. I'm gonna hit join from your browser, okay?
yes.
Having issues? I'm gonna say join from your browser, see if it works. Something's happening. Not sure my camera's hooked up properly. There's something, join meeting. There's a screen, hold it. Mute, stop video. There's no video yet. Join meeting. connecting. Da-da-da-da. I think there's pigeons in the way. There's pigeons in Philadelphia. No, I'm kidding. Your camera and microphone are being used by, here it is. The camera just went on. Join with video, okay?
Perfect.
Yes?
Yes,
All right, wait a second. It's doing, it went off again.
I just let you into the room, sir.
Okay.
Just hold tight.
Your fault. Stand by now. I
Okay,
may not make it. Connecting. Here I'm connected. I'm gonna have to put my headphones on, so this means being recorded by the host assistant. Got it. Everything? All right. Join with computer audio, okay?
yep.
I hear you. Got it.
Hello. Hi. I'll put my headphones on. Hold on a second. Hi, can you hear
Hello.
me? Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hang up the phone. I hung
I
up. the
can't
phone.
turn off the phone?
You can turn off the phone.
Are you Melissa?
I am Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hello, Mr. Goldstein. I just want to introduce you to the board. Nancy is our chair, and Paula and George are our chair members. At this time, Nancy is going to read your case into the record, and we can get started, okay?
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, how are you? I have, just before you actually got on, I introduced the case with its case number. Unless you want me to repeat it. I
Fine,
think
go
we could-
ahead. I'm
but
confused enough. as it is.
It's already been posted. Please identify yourself for the record.
William E. Goldstein.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
I do. I'm a Boy Scout, I'm a veteran of the US
Okay,
Army.
well, we don't
I remember-
necessarily need a Boy Scouts oath. We just need
I
you
went
to.
I also went to Philadelphia. I taught in Philadelphia. And I was in the honor class. I went to the
Okay,
University of
that's
Pennsylvania.
fine. Let's
All those
identify
things you're
who has
supposed to
this
do, I
matter for
did.
the city.
Okay.
Oh, good afternoon, Julia Park for the City of Philadelphia Law Department.
Hi, Julia. Hi,
Okay,
Julia.
and who has the information that we need to read into the record for today's case?
Okay, the water customer is questioning the period December 16, 2016 to October 16, 2020. The principal amount is $5,344.94. The penalty amount is $596.50. The lien amount is $375.80, bringing the disputed total to $6,317.24.
Okay.
I have,
Does the city have any opening comments?
Yes, quickly. The property in question is a rental property. The dispute is concerning high bills from December 2016 to October 2020. The usage appears to be spikes on certain months. The readings were actual and the meter and ERT were properly functioning at this time. We request that this petition to be denied due to those reasons.
Okay.
what do you mean by that
That's-
tonight?
Do
What
you
does
have
that mean?
anything else from the city's perspective before we go back to the petitioner?
No.
No, okay. Mr. Goldstein, please tell us why you're here and what it is you're looking for from this
Yeah,
board.
the last phone conversation, I don't think I mentioned the fact of why it was a problem in the first place. Listen, I'm good for that money. I've never defaulted in any bills in my life. The problem is I'm a retired teacher right now. That's not the reason for the petition. The reason is my tenant is a very sick individual. He currently is in the hospital because he had a stroke in his eye. They're checking his carotid artery. They're checking his kidneys. He's a diabetic. In the last 3 years, for example, I only got 1 year's of rent from him. I have his phone number. If you wish to corroborate any of this, just speak to his wife. He's currently in the hospital. I wanted him to be online with me if possible. He can't do that. He's a good guy. He's got 4 children. Okay, he had trouble. He was out of work because of the COVID, and he was out of work because he had his foot operated on at that time as well. He's okay. He's a father of 4 people. He's a very great guy. I'm not going to evict this guy. I could have done that and I could have had more money coming in. I don't have much money coming in, right? I'm a retired teacher from the school district of Philadelphia. I get Social Security, $1,210 a month. I get a teacher's pension. Excuse me, I know it's not important to you, but it's important to me. $643 a month, that's $21,000 a year. I was on the space program as an engineer. I made a lot of money. I never had problems like that. Right now, when I was in Philadelphia, I was having problems because the school teachers don't do that well. And retired teachers do much less. I can't afford to pay when he was in default many, many months. I can't afford to pay his mortgage and my mortgage at the same time. Okay, and now I'm not, I don't have too many options though. The mortgage company in Philadelphia was very nice about it. They didn't say deny his petition, right? Because I don't know, there were peaks in the bill. They said, okay, Bill, we'll defer your payments to make it easier for you. We understand. All I'm asking for from the tax review board, the city of Philadelphia, is a reasonable payment schedule that I can handle. $100, $200 a month, whatever I can handle. I can't handle more than that. That's all I'm asking for, if you please.
And you're talking about a payment agreement for the outstanding water bills.
That's right. I don't think that's too much to ask.
There was a considerable amount of penalty and interest that was read into the record. So these amounts haven't been paid for a considerable period of time. Is that correct?
Yes, I would cover the penalties. I can cover the penalties and I can cover the $100 or $200 a month until it's repaid.
Let me see if I understand correctly. The amounts that were that are delinquent at this point in time were to have been paid by your tenant, but because of their financial situation, they've been unable to pay. And so basically you're saying that as the owner of the property, you want to take the direct responsibility for dealing with
Sure,
those
I don't want them
outstanding
out on this. I do not want them out on the street with 4 kids. I don't want him out on the street.
And nor were we suggesting that. We're trying to figure out how the payment arrangements would be identified.
Okay,
If indeed that's what is agreed upon here from the board.
yeah. Okay,
Questions from anyone on the board? Paula, you look like you might have one.
I do. I'm not sure whether I want to direct it to Ms. Park or Mr. Goldstein, but Mr. Goldstein, while we have you actually testifying, have monthly payments, any monthly payments been sent to the city on this bill recently?
no, none. I had no money. He's lost his job. And I don't get any income from that property. I was waiting for him to be able to send in some payments so I could cover that. He hasn't. It's not really his fault. He lost his job.
No, I understand. I'm going to turn to Ms. Park. Could you give us a payment history?
Yes, we could show that on the screen so Mr. Goldstein can review all the transactions on the account. Okay, so the last payment was made on, it looks like 2019.
Where was that? 2019?
When in 2019?
That's when the problem started with COVID.
April
I think.
1st, April
Okay,
1st,
I missed the
2019.
date.
That was the last payment, it looks
That was-
like, from,
Okay,
Like April 1st. And prior to that, is this the tenant account or is this the owner's account? Is there?
this is the owner's account.
Okay, so there is no tenant account.
There's no tenant account, correct?
so I was paying up till that 2019.
And do you
Okay.
pay the bills directly, Mr. Goldstein? Does your tenant pay the bill?
He either paid for me or I paid it to, he would go to the bank to put in his mortgage. And I would ask him to do that because I'm all the way up in Vermont. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. Listen, I'm real good at teaching chemistry. I'm really good at teaching science. I don't know a thing about business.
Okay.
And seriously, everyone knows more than I do about them. I look at these numbers.
I'm just
going, what?
asking for,
Yeah.
the fact of
Purposes
how
of the
property was-
logistics.
Right.
I probably paid that myself. Probably, I'm thinking. I don't know, recall getting the bill, but I probably paid it myself.
Okay, thank
I
you.
live alone. When I was married, my wife would handle this for me. Right? I don't know how to pay a bill. It's all
Do you get-
automatic.
Do you get the bill from the Water Revenue Bureau every month to your,
I used to.
and now you don't?
Now I don't.
So
Probably
if you're going to be
because there's-
paying, if you're going to be paying the bills on a going forward basis,
Yes,
uh,
send me
you
the
should,
bill.
would you want to get the bills at your property?
Yes.
Ms.
Where
Parker,
you
Either
live
you,
now?
it doesn't matter where I get the bill. If Mike gets them, he's my tenant. Or if I get them, it doesn't matter. I'll pay those bills.
Okay, well, I'm asking you in terms of whether or not the location where the bill goes should be changed to where you are if you're making the
Yes,
payments.
it's easier for me here to get it
So-
here in my post.
So
office.
that's something that should be done as a part of any agreement that might be entered into as a result of our discussions today.
Yes, hopefully.
Any other questions from the board? Mr. Goldstein?
From me?
No, I'm asking the board
Oh.
members if they have any other questions of you.
not at this time for me.
George?
Can I make
No,
a
not at
statement?
this time.
Can I make a
Just a minute.
statement?
I'm polling the board members to see if they have any questions
Okay.
they want to ask.
Okay,
Just asking how much he can pay per month.
I didn't hear you.
How much would you be able to pay per month on a payment agreement?
Maximum, I get, it depends. I've had a modification on both this mortgage and my house here and in Hartel Avenue. I could manage up to $200. That's optimistic. I could manage that. And I could promise that and come through with it. That's a lot of money.
And this would be in addition to the monthly payments that would be
Yes.
due and owing for each month.
Yes, and I'm gonna try and get the tenant to handle all the other parts of it, but that's something else. That is in addition to the payments that are due each month. I think that's pretty good considering the income that I'm
Okay, we're just
receiving.
trying to get a sense of what might be involved, because you would actually have to enter into a payment agreement with the City Water Revenue Bureau.
Okay.
Any other questions from board members? No. Okay, let's turn back to the city. Is there anything else that the city wants to provide as information or any questions you have for the petitioner?
Mr. Goldstein, does your tenants' children also live in this property? You
Yes, they
said
do.
they have 4. Okay.
4 children, yes.
Mhm. So it's two adults, 4 children.
I'm sorry, 4 children.
Two adults and 4 children.
Yes. It's a great house. It's a great neighborhood. I taught at Lincoln High School. That's why I bought it. It's right down the street from there. Then I had problems with the neighbor who was a drug pusher. He was shot to death. It was a terrible story. I couldn't sleep at night. I found another house and I rented that out through my real estate agent.
Does the city have anything else they want to present?
There's nothing else more to discuss further about this account.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Park, I have a question.
Yes.
Just in terms of going forward. Since this is a rental property, are any of the taxpayer assistance programs available for tenants?
Well, as long as, and Ms. Chenille can chime in, as long as they open a tenant account under Mr. Goldstein's account, they can apply for TAP, the Tiered Assistance Program, and it will be, their monthly bill will be limited to their income. So if he's out of work right now, it's going to be a very low bill. I definitely recommend the tenants to apply for TAP.
But that would mean that the
Once
tenant
he-
would have to have a tenant account and it would not be then the property owner who would have the water account. Is that correct?
Correct. It will be under the tenant who will be responsible for the bill. But I mean, that really helps Mr. Goldstein because he wouldn't have to pay the water bills. The tenant can pay if it's based on his income, a percentage of his income.
And then what happens to the delinquency though, when it's a tenant account?
Oh, well, the thing is, that's moving forward. That's like prospective. So
Right, so-
the current balance that you see, the $8,317, that stays with Mr. Goldstein.
Okay.
And we would enter into a payment plan with him. And
Now,
try.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Janelle.
What will be available for Mr. Goldstein while the money is available is to apply for the LIBOR grant.
So he would need to enter into the payment agreement on the past due amounts, and his tenant would enter into a tenant agreement going forward that would have potential of savings based on his income. Is that correct?
Right.
Yes.
And Ms. Smith,
Yes.
you were just talking about a grant program, however, for Mr. Goldstein.
Oh, okay. I
Yes,
missed that.
he can apply for LIWAP. It's spelled
What?
LIWHAP.
WHAP?
Yes, and they'll give you up to $5,000.
Could you say that again, the number, let's, how to spell that?
LIWHAP,
LIWH,
as in Paul.
oh,
Is that on
LIWA.
the city's website?
Okay, that would help me enormously. Thank you. I
You're
feel
welcome.
like my wife is living with me again, ladies. Thanks for filling that.
We're
space.
trying.
But that's really good, right?
So here are options then, Mr. Goldstein.
Yeah,
You can enter into a payment agreement for that back amount with the Water Revenue Bureau. You can apply for the grant program that Ms. Smith just mentioned, and, to try to get some of that then taken care of through a grant.
okay,
Going forward, your tenant needs to apply for his or her own tenant account, it's called.
okay,
And then because they are low income, struggling with unemployment, health issues, whatever it is, they would be eligible for the city's TAP program, which would base the water bill on their income.
I'm sure
That
they'll
would
do
lower
that.
the monthly bill, but they would be responsible and they would have to pay it.
Okay.
Because if they don't, I assume even Ms. Park with TAP, it reverts to the owner.
Okay, they will do that.
Correct.
They'll do that. They're very good people. They're
Okay.
extremely fine people.
So.
They've had very, very hard luck.
Well, we're in hard times for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of people. So those are things going forward that you can do to handle this bill. Nancy, do we need to step back to talk about
That's
it?
what I was just going to say, see if there were any other questions before we step back.
All right, everybody.
If everyone just holds tight.
What's this, a waiting room?
Yes, the board is going into another room.
That's amazing. Do you know, I worked on this when I was an engineer. I worked on the camera in Hightstown, New Jersey for the camera that went to the moon. I guess you can't hear me now. Okay.
Okay. Nancy, everyone's back.
Okay, fine, thank you. The board's reached a decision. It's our decision to abate the penalty. That was the $596.50, leaving the principal amount and the let's see, what was the other part of it? The 375.
The lien
is,
charge.
I'm sorry.
Lien charges.
Oh, the lien charge. Yes, we are not in a position to abate that. So that leaves a balance that is just a little over $6,000 there. You'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision in that regard and have 30 days to enter into payment arrangements under this. You'd have 30 days to address setting up a payment account for those past due amounts. And then as a follow-up or a second piece to this, we would ask that you work with your tenant to have them open a tenant account, and they would then be able to apply for the TAP program as a tenant. And just one side comment in terms of the payment arrangement that you would be making for those past due amounts. We understand from the city's discussion of this, and you would want to find out more about it when you enter into your payment arrangements, but there is a potential for you as the owner to apply for a grant program that was, I believe, identified as LIWHAP.
Yes.
You need to talk with the city representatives a little further about that so that you can find out what you might need to do if you're interested in following through on that. So basically what will happen, you'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of our decision. I'm going to assume for the moment that neither side's going to choose to appeal. And if that proves to be the case, then you should be following through as expeditiously as you can on entering into that payment arrangement and then working with your tenant to go to those next steps so that on a going forward basis, it's your tenant who is paying and has the advantage of being able to access the TAP program.
I understand. Would you be,
I need to get something on the record first. Concurrence from the board members.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Do we have Ryan? I guess not.
No.
Nancy Camerodiner, I concur.
Do you have any other questions, Mr. Goldstein?
yes, I wanted, are you going to send that letter to me here in Vermont?
That is correct.
Post Office Box 754, Derby, Vermont. Do you have that?
Actually, no, I have another address for you. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. I was in the wrong place.
I think your petition had a PO box. I think is it 754? Your writing's a little hard to follow.
754. 754 is correct.
The same place we sent you this notice for the hearing.
Yeah, so it would be Derby, Vermont 05829.
Correct.
You have all that. Excellent.
Yes.
Then also, yes, my tenant, to let him know about the grant thing. And rather to, well, excuse me, who do I talk to about the LIAP?
You have to go on the website and apply there.
What website?
The LIAP website.
Oh, there's a lot, just Google LIAP.
Yeah, just Google it.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know that.
Of
You do
course.
this for a living. I worked on the camera that went to the moon. You would not know how to do that. All right?
That is correct.
But you know how to do this. Don't think it's easy what you're doing. It's a very difficult. I study mathematics, physics, all kinds of stuff. This is very difficult what you do.
All right.
It involves lots of people and lots of institutions. You know that. It's like, you know that. I don't know it.
Well, we thank you very much for joining us, and you've had a new experience today with a Zoom meeting.
You
And
know, can I say something there? Can I say, I worked on this technology that we're using now. It tickles me to see it work. I wish it was awarding me a Nobel Prize or something instead of bills.
well, there are lots of Zoom meetings you can attend. I know I belong to a couple of organizations
Really?
that often has Zoom meetings that are more fun and more intellectual.
Do you want to hear something while we're here? My freshman chemistry teacher at the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Alan McDermott, won the Nobel Prize for chemistry. And I worked as in a teacher outreach program when I was teaching in the city of Philadelphia one summer for the Laboratory for the Research for the Structure of Matter. And he introduced me to all the staff there as his former freshman chemistry student. I never felt so good.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for joining us today on Zoom, and you'll get the letter from us within the next week or so. They seem to take a little longer these days than they used to. So
Last thing, I must say this because I am a teacher and all that. You got to let me say this. I know you look like you're saddled with all kinds of problems of half the people in the city of Philadelphia. Thank you for all the help you're doing. Don't think it's not understood and not appreciated.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, we appreciating you working with us and helping to get this matter straightened out. And it sounds like with the advice from the city representatives, both you and your tenant are going to have some advantages that we might not otherwise have been able to offer to you.
Great
And
news.
thank you again for joining us.
Good luck.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
You too.
now. We have one
Bye.
other item that's on our agenda, and unless someone has shown up for item number 4, we need to address that more directly. Has anyone come in?
No, there's no one in the waiting room at 100 South Broad Street or in the virtual waiting room for this matter.
Okay, let me read the information into the record then. It's
going
Derek
to leave.
Marshall.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
leaving
yes,
now.
thank you very much. We
Unless I can help you. Can I help you? Can I
No,
interview
no,
another person?
we're going to other items on the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you much.
Okay, bye now.
Bye-bye.
You can sign off whenever.
I'm trying.
Yes, okay. Item number 4 on our agenda, Derek Marshall, last 4 digits of the docket 2037, property address of 751 South 60th Street. No one has appeared for this matter. Do we have any information that could tell us anything more about the status on this or any other things we should know before dealing with its resolution today?
According to the file, there has been one further continuance and one further failure to appear.
Okay, and this had been before the master before it got here, so those are board level items that you returned.
There was a board level continuance and a master level failure to appear.
Okay.
Julia, do you have anything on this matter?
No, we didn't have any contact with the petitioner.
What is the situation here? What are we talking about? Is it a lot of money or what is the?
It's a back bill of around $3,000 after a earth service.
Okay. Turn to the board then. Do you have any recommendations on what we do with this? We'll of course be denying it for failure to appear. Do we put any restrictions or anything else on that?
He didn't show up only one time, right? So
Yes.
we shouldn't put any restrictions at this time.
Okay, so just denied for
Just
failure
deny
to appear?
for failure to appear, yes.
Okay.
I concur with that.
Okay, and I concur as well. So that takes care of our last item on the agenda. And we're denying that for failure to appear. And unless there's something else that anyone has, I don't have anything else on the agenda. Unless someone else has anything to bring up, I would call this hearing adjourned.
Take care, everybody.
Bye
Thank you.
now.
Oh, wait, board members, we don't have any hearings on Thursday. It's an administrative day, but there's nothing there. I'll send another email just to make sure.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Okay,
And
thank you.
There's none.
Good,
next
Melissa,
Thursday
good
either.
job.
I know, wait, and there's none next Thursday either. Either that's the law department CLE program. So just
I knew
know,
we had a couple of them coming up and then of course the end of August. But if you could just remind us of which ones, just to make
Sure.
sure. I think I got them down ahead, but I don't want to show up and wonder where
you're
everybody
putting
else
on a
was.
summer schedule, guys. I mean, I don't even know what's going on, but I just feel like there's no board hearing. So
Melissa,
I'll send an email.
okay,
Okay,
Melissa, we will recruit that teacher,
Oh,
Koro.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, well.
All right, so
good-
not,
good to see
nothing on
everybody.
Thursday. See you
Thank you.
Tuesday.
Yeah, see me, yeah.
See you
we'll
next
have
week.
Tuesday is business tax, so it also might be a free day.
Let me know.
You
you.
know I will.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye,
everyone.
George. Bye, Nancy.
Bye.
Bye, Nancy.
Bye-bye.